Hey everyone, today we are reading Ecclesiastes chapter 3 together. Now in chapters 1 and 2, the writer, who we assume to be King Solomon, has come to this conclusion that life is meaningless. And he expands upon this theme in chapter 3 by talking about time, and specifically the monotonous nature of time. And at the very beginning, he highlights how there is an appropriate time, there's an appropriate occasion for every single human activity. He writes, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace." So as we read through that again, what is the word that stuck out to you? Time. Over and over again, the preacher uses this word time. And in studying this passage and reading some commentaries that went along with it, someone pointed out the fact that in repeating this word time, the preacher is emphasizing the fact that our lives are just pieced together seasons. Time, pieced together with time, pieced together with time. So there is a time for everything. However, in the midst of this monotony, the preacher offers a sort of redemption for time. He highlights and says, God supersedes time. And in verse 11, he says this, "Yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end." So there's a reason and a purpose behind every season, and God gives that reason and purpose. God brings it about. And he also, he has given people a sense that there is something beyond time. And he says that that is eternity. He has written eternity in our hearts. But it's something that still only he can fully understand. It's outside of our comprehension, yet he has given us this sense that there is something beyond time. There's something more than time. So, and that leads me to verse 14. He says, "And I know that whatever God does is final. Nothing can be added to it or taken from it. God's purpose is that people should fear him." So throughout all of time and all of the things that change, the one thing that has remained constant is the fact that God is over it all. He is in control. And so the message for us today is to trust him. Even in the midst of things that we don't understand and our minds can't fully comprehend, our response should be to fall to our knees and be like, "Okay, God, I may not understand this, and I may be confused. I may not understand what's going on in this season of my life, but I'm going to trust that you do and you have a purpose for it." So in the midst of every season, no matter the joy, no matter the pain, no matter the confusion, no matter the hope, look to God and trust him in the midst of it. Realize that there's a purpose and a season. There's a purpose and a reason for every season. And the truth is, God is continuing a work in us to bring about to completion in eternity. So let's trust him today together.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.